Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of Waffle and War with Command Battle Win with myself, Joe, and other people. Shall I start this again?
No, I think the awkward silence is good.
Can do.
No, we've started. We shall continue.
Soldier on through.
That's it. 22 seconds in and it's already got awkward. No. Waffle and War. So we'll talk about what everybody in the Warhammer community is currently reading at the moment. So the 9th of February 2022, important price news. Just to let you know, there is a 5% increase, which is £35 up to £36 of what?
We're in 2023.
What? Oh.
We're in the year is 2023.
Oh, okay. Sorry, hang on 1 second. Oh, here we are. 9th of February 2023 pricing update. So there is now a price increase of 6%, which goes up from £36 to £37.50, or if you were looking to buy Battle Sister Squad Battle. So once again, Games Workshop have done what we all wanted them to do and increase their prices in this current economic crisis that we're all going through, where we're all grasping onto plastic crack to keep ourselves sane.
And let me guess, they couldn't possibly have kept it at the previous price because they're not making any money.
And they're not at one point the top grossing company in the world. They were in the top 5, weren't they, or the top 10? In terms of money that they create, you know what I mean? During COVID.
The top 10 companies of all time.
That's it, for making the monies.
Yeah.
So yeah, apparently what's changing is I'm just going to compare the 2022 to the 2023 just to see. Okay, so in 2022, sorry, what was not going up in price was the paints and the brushes and the paint sets and the tools and the start sets. However, I'm pretty sure that the brushes went up in price.
Yeah.
Also, was it mid 2022 when they released the new formula washes? And they went up in price and they reduced the volume.
Yep, something like that.
Yep.
So, and they've released those new paintbrushes as well, haven't they? That are more expensive.
The synthetic ones, yeah.
Yeah, and then you start phasing out the older ones, so you have no choice but to buy the. But then I said, but we didn't put the price of the paintbrush up. We just brought new ones out.
Absolutely.
They're a different colour.
Stop selling the old ones.
So what is not going up in price this year compared to last year? So this new one, so starter sets, paint pots, citadel tools, codexes, rule books, battle tombs, which are for Age of Sigmar, and synthetic brushes, which is kind of the same as last time, really. What is going up in price is your lovely plastic crack, your Forge World and your resin models, and your standard and artificial citadel brushes and spray paints are all going up.
So they've done it again, haven't they? They've released all the new tools, haven't they? Which are more plasticky and less metally, as far as I can tell, and they're more expensive. But they only did that just before Christmas, didn't they?
Well, that's because it's more economic for the environment to use plastic. Oh wait, no, it's not.
Yeah. Okay, so
maybe that's their strategy. More economic for the environment if you can't afford to buy any more stuff.
So yeah, that just sort of. I mean, I'm just glad that the three of us got into Warhammer before all of this has cracked off, and majority of us.
Sorry to interrupt. I thought you were going to say, I'm glad we got into it when it was cheap.
When it was cheaper.
Yeah.
It's still expensive. So I would imagine this is probably going to put a lot of people off. So the positive is eBay is probably going to be started, and Facebook Marketplace flooded with models that nobody wants anymore because they're leaving the hobby. Pipe dream.
Essentially, I think a lot of this, like the realistic bit, really is when they said the Battle Sisters, which presumably would be the same thing as like a squad of intercessors or whatever. It's £36 going up to £37.50 or whatever it was. No one that was going to buy from GW will probably care about £1.50. That's not even a paint pot. So it's one of those things, I think, where we all like to complain, myself included. But realistically, it's not going to affect anything because I don't regularly buy the models. I've got a massive backlog of plastic crap.
Yeah.
And I will buy them not from GW because it's 20% off anyway.
Yeah.
But it's fun to complain about, and I will
Oh,
join in.
absolutely. It's just angry when things go
I
up in
think
price.
I think as well, if you try to start out a new army and you want to buy a lot of models in one go, you're going to really notice the difference then, isn't it? And that could stop new people joining the hobby.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, a good example is the other day I wanted to buy some spray paint, but I wanted to basically bulk up my price, and it works out cheaper to buy like spray paints and paints from Games Workshop, and then get it over the £40, and you end up spending more, but you get more stuff than it is to go to Element Games or wherever and then buy it from them, because then you're having to pay for postage, which then bumps it up to the original price. So I was on the Games Workshop website and I was looking and I was thinking, I might just buy like a lieutenant. I haven't, one of the millions of lieutenants that I've not got. I was like, £22, no. And then some of them I just felt it was too expensive for what they were. So then I ended up just walking into a friendly game shop whilst at work and just got it at work. So saved myself some money and got some exercise.
Yeah, postage on spray cans is ridiculous, isn't it? But it's because it's like hazardous material or
something like that. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. So we've moaned about the price of Warhammer. Has anybody? Have either of you guys seen any of the new boarding patrols that were announced? That seems to have not had any media attention.
It's in kind of like combat patrols, but
yeah. So they've released the Tyranids. They're releasing a Tyranids one. They're releasing a Necron one, and they're releasing a Grey Knights one, which is kind of cool.
Sounds cool. Well, it's nice to have options for bulk buy-in, because obviously GW do very small amounts of discount, but if you can get a Element Games discount on a GW discount, then great.
Yeah. So the Necron one is estimated at $222. That's what you would get at money equivalent, and they think that they're going to sell them for about $110.
It's just made my heart close up a bit. It's a lot of money, isn't it?
It is a bit. Oh, hang on, no, I may have misread that. It's saying about you would save $110 buying that Necron pack. They've not said how much it will be sold. Sorry, savings versus estimated $110 price. Oh no, they are £110. So you would save $87 with the Tyranids, and you would save $55 with the Grey Knights. I think that 10th edition is going to force us to do boarding patrol, I think, or something similar. I don't know.
The main difference is you don't have vehicles. Is that it?
Pretty much, yeah. Just troops, just little men running around.
Move the troops.
Move the troops.
Move the troops.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's quite interesting. Just trying to see if there's anything. I've not heard anything new and interesting in terms of, apart from Valrak talking about all this new rumoured stuff. What we think is a load of poppycock.
I saw a rumor on the Auspex Tactics channel, where one of the rumors about 10th edition is they're going to do away with toughness.
Oh.
So I don't understand how that would work. If it would just be sort of, I think the idea would be you only have toughness rolls for things with proper armor, like dreadnoughts and tanks and things. And you would just assume that any humans or biological squishy target wouldn't have a toughness roll.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not sure how I feel about that.
No, I'm not either. It would speed it up.
Was there something similar in 7th edition or before 7th edition? Because there was another stat line. There was another figure, wasn't there, that they took out for 8th edition, I thought, which it sounds very similar to.
Yeah, so the strength toughness thing, rather than just having that, is it equal, is it more than, or is it double? There was a whole table, like a football fixtures table, where if you get a 5, if this guy's a toughness 5, this guy's a toughness 7, then you need to roll this. So you had to have this table out at all times, unless you could memorize it.
Right.
So it's kind of the opposite. It's actually much more. So 8th edition simplified it quite a lot. But there's always that trade-off, isn't there? Simplification versus actually making the models that you've bought feel unique.
Yeah.
If you did away with the toughness, my first thought is orcs have an armor save of 6+, which is obviously crap, but it's meant to be. It's a t-shirt save. But they have a toughness of 5 because they're thick-skinned tough boys. So it's the toughness that kind of keeps them more alive than they would have been.
Do you think that they'll get rid of the armor save, or do you think that would only apply to things that have got armor? Sorry, the saving the saving throw.
Saving throw. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think they get rid of both, because at that point, then you just roll into hit and that's it.
Do you think they'll just introduce an armor save? I was thinking of D&D. They've got like an armor save, haven't they? When you play D&D, do you think they'll introduce that instead?
Does Age of Sigma have a different sort of setup for rolls and stuff?
Oh, that's a good point.
I don't know.
I don't really know either, so just wondering if maybe if they're aligning it a bit more with that one, if it is a different setup.
Yeah, it could well be.
Just having a quick Google now. They've got, where's that gone? Where's it gone? So they've got range attacks, hits, wound, rend, and damage on their weapons.
In true GW style, that sounds like they've just got different words for the same thing.
But then they've got bravery. Oh wait, no, I was gonna say, but then they've also got bravery, which is basically leadership. Wounds, save, and movement. Interesting. We'll have to see. We're gonna have to see. No, until the leaks start appearing.
Yeah, and I know that they're putting a lot into trying to make games quicker.
Yeah,
but I feel like isn't Kill Team basically just version?
Yeah.
It's
they've worked to try and make that fast. Is that not right, or am I making?
That is right, but it's a completely.
I'm just saying, why offensive to anyone that's listening.
Well, it's a completely different rule set. I've never played Kill Team, but it looks like you get loads of sort of fiddly individual things that are quite quick to resolve, but there's lots to it, if you know what I mean.
All I know is that there is, I think there's height damage in Kill Team. Height advantage and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
The whole point is to be, get up and down things and...
Yeah, it takes strategic advantage of your terrain, that kind of thing.
That's the one.
Sounds good. The only other thing that seems consistent about all these rumours is they're looking at the end of June to release it. 10th edition, that is.
Yay.
And I also start saving now for all the new books then.
Yeah.
Also heard a rumour that it'll be Tyranids versus Dark Angels rather than Blood Angels, which was the initial thing.
So it would make, to me, Tyranids versus Dark Angels would make more sense because they have that what was the game? Their Deathwing game, which is on the Space Hulks, and it's Tyranids versus Dark Angels with Terminators, and this seems to be very much that sort of style. And obviously there's there's a new Space Marine game coming out, isn't there? But is there a new Deathwing game coming out? No, I might have made that up.
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh no, there's a chapter. Oh no.
I guess the logical thing is they're putting all this momentum into, because like Asriel was announced at Christmas. There's rumours that this Arcs of Omen book, the 5th one, is going to be called Lion, and that's when the Lion's going to return. And and there's rumour that we're going to get the model for it. So why would they do all that and then say, okay, 10th edition started, let's do Blood Angels?
Yeah, makes absolute sense to me. But then again, it's Games Workshop, so...
Yeah, true.
Yeah, ha! You bought this lot. Start a new army.
Yeah. There's got to be an element of it. like they probably do want you to start new armies constantly.
Yeah.
And the problem is, as much as I whine about it, advertising works on me. I mean, I'm just starting my third army, and at the point where my wife said to me yesterday, "Oh, I thought you were getting a new army," I was like, "That's all the permission I need. Off I go to the Games Workshop."
Oh dear. Yeah. That's funny. That's funny.
True though.
I don't know. So what do we think of Valrak's post about all this new stuff? Then, are we thinking it's all a load of junk and a load of somebody trolling?
Yes, because I in the description of this video put a link to the website that he got it from, and it's now that website is now under maintenance.
Yes, I noticed that. I tried going on it just before we started talking. I've been on bolts and hammers before, bolts and chainswords before. It's back on now.
Oh, okay.
It's just a forum based website. I can get on it while at work. I mean, what?
Well, I don't know. Let's look at this. So they've come up with the name Primaris Prosecutor. I don't think that's real. Primaris Space Marine Intervectors. I mean, someone's made that up blatantly. Arduenters, which are the new Terminators. I think that's a load of rubbish. Instigators.
Primaris Shelder mounted grav cannons. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, someone has just tried to make up words that sound plausible, but they don't sound that plausible.
Did you watch the video at the very end? He's like the Arduent kits or whatever it says can have a classic power fist and a bolt, but each has got a missile launcher on top. And he's like, right, this is rubbish.
Yeah, I'll defer to Valrak on that. He knows more than me.
Yeah, and he was saying that he feels that basically all they've done is chucked in a few of the rumours that he's mentioned
to make it sound credible. Yeah.
However, it would be very nice to have some Terminators, some actual. But sorry, it'd be nice to have some Gravis melee based guys, and gravitational hammers and shields would be awesome. It'd be really, really awesome.
Very true. But I mean, Gravis guys have power fists, so that's kind of melee, isn't it?
Yeah, kinda.
But you want the hammers.
Yeah, I want the hammers and the shields, or just true scale Terminators. I've been saying that since we started 8th edition all those years ago.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I thought was to be fair, is a load of bollocks is the new Red Terror for the Tyranids, because they've just took the Red Terror out of the codex in this latest codex. So why would they then bring it back? They would surely just keep him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They replaced it with the Parasite of Mortex. I think that's what it's called anyway.
Oh, Morty.
Oh yes, Morty. Oh, my computer's trying to install something now. Now that I've exited. Oh, bada bing. There we go. Sorry. So yeah, nothing apart from that rubbish room. Nothing's really interesting, and it's come out from Games Workshop.
Not for the last week, at least.
No, not for the last week. Although the new Angron model is quite cool.
I've noticed there's a lot of Instagram posters where they're just saying, "Look, I've got my new Angron model." There must be so many, what are they called, influencers? I don't know, that get all this early access free stuff from GW.
Yeah, and we're right here waiting.
We are. So Chris, with you starting a Chaos army, does that mean you can Does that mean you can collect the World Eaters? Are they Chaos? I don't really understand.
I'm not sure.
I think
because
it's similar
I've not done any kind of reading or whatever into it.
Okay.
It's the same as Death Guard to Black Legion, I guess, because Death Guard are basically their own Chaos faction, aren't they? But you can have you can take Black Legion units and paint them green, I suppose. And I think
and there are certain Chaos like the Demon Prince, the Baby Brute, those sorts of things.
The overlap, yeah.
They sort of like you can bring them along if you want to and still remain battle forged. because
Okay.
it's in the codex.
Because I mean, he would be a bastard to paint this Angron guy,
Yeah,
but he is such a cool model.
it's really cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine if you had him and what was the other big chaos demon, the Bellicor or whatever his name was, the new one. Well, about a year old now. The one with the big wings, and he's Sigmar and
Oh
40k.
yes, I know
They're
who you
doing that
mean.
with more and more models now, aren't they?
Mhm.
Because the Demon Prince is Sigma or 40k.
Yeah, I like that because
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
the first one I was aware of was the Great Unclean one. That's cool.
Mm. That is a cool model.
Mhm.
I think it'll be either really easy. I reckon that's probably a model that lends itself to that slap chop method for painting.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Do you remember
I've not tried that slap chop yet.
No,
I'll
I
slap
think
your chops.
I'm very tempted
No.
to do it, but I'm very superficial with my army. So if I did that, then I'd have to do it for all of them. So
Yeah.
I'd only do it on a new army that I'd started,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
Well, it sounds like you've just talked yourself into a new army.
a good idea. Yes, I like that. But
Yeah.
oh yeah, just going back to the Great Unclean one. Do you remember when we had our CBW stag at Warhammer World?
Oh yeah.
That is
There's
how we
the
roll.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
how we
we do,
roll.
don't we? But the Forge World Great Unclean one. Do you remember that one?
Yes. Is that the big fat guy?
The big fat guy. So they've got the normal big fat guy, and the Forge World one is where he's got this big long tongue that's wrapping around a sword, and he's got loads of like I don't know what you call it. You know when there's like loads of holes in his skin, and it looks horrible. Like
Yes. Yeah.
some people have a phobia of holes because it looks like kind of pest like disease. It
Mm.
looks disgusting, and it's really good.
It's only £144. The Great
Well,
Unclean
Oh,
One.
Forge World going up
bargain.
6% as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's basic. Don't worry, you can still spend your pocket money on it.
Ah yes. So I didn't realize there was two different models actually. I just thought it was just like a change of. Yeah, I didn't realize it was completely two different models. The Great Unclean one, £90, or the Forge World one, which looks so much better actually. It looks
So mean.
amazing.
He's
Yeah,
horrible. Yeah.
yeah. Although he looks so the one on the Games Workshop looks like it's Age of Sigmar painted style and very nice and colourful, and then the Forge World one looks like what is it called when you make the Space Marines look realistic? Is it
Grimdark.
Grimdark? That's it. So
Yeah.
he looks more grimdark and more realistic, whereas the other one, the Warhammer Games Workshop one, looks very colourful and bright. But yeah,
Yeah. It's the same with the orcs actually. Like you can get custom like bits for your orc kits from Forge World, or you can get Forge World specific models. You know, like the Stomper, you can get a different head for it, and it looks a lot more angry, shall we say?
I've always liked the Necron stuff that you can get from Forge World. They have like that Cantapex Tomb Sentinel that it looks like a centipede.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're just so expensive, so expensive what they are from Forge World.
It's because they're not toys; they're models.
Yeah.
Although, if you've seen any of Joe's shorts that he does with Gilliman, they're toys.
Yeah, I need to crack Gold Gilliman out and have a little short play with him. I'm tempted to paint up these pillory tower things that I've got printed, and then do like a little bit of a short with them with Gulliman in there, going, "No, this is a heresy," like you know what I mean, something like
Yeah, yeah. I do like how indignant Gilliman gets in those videos.
that. Yeah,
It does fit very well.
it does. So when are we buying when we all clubbing together and getting a resin printer? Oh,
Uh,
yeah. I have a conversation, but that's probably not for here. For as
for
it,
the sake of intellectual property.
yeah. I already briefly discussed it with Az at one point, so it's something we could discuss a little bit later on about resin printers, maybe.
Okay.
And yeah, it's not rude. Not rude.
Which makes a change from you.
Makes a change
3D.
from all of you.
Yes. Well, let's not mention your other 3D printing ideas.
Lol. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you've thrown me. You've stopped me in my tracks there. If I'm honest.
We were talking about the Great Unclean One. Price rises. Forge World.
The Great Unclean One. Well, it is my nickname. Giggity. So yes, so I think with the price range increase, and also the lack of terrain, I do think the way forward is probably going to be, people are going to start buying more resin based stuff, printed stuff. I think from a terrain point of view, there is a lack. There's just, I'm hoping that instead of, it's like with 8th to 9th, they just basically reskinned everything that they'd already got, painted it differently, and then took slightly different photos of it.
Oh, you mean the boxes and the logo and stuff?
Well, the box and logo, but the terrain in general, it's just, there was nothing new, was there, for 9th edition? No, there was no new terrain, was there? Oh, sorry, there was a bit for Necromunda, and there was a few little bits and bobs scattered around.
Yeah, and that's right, because they repackaged the armored containers, didn't they? They just painted them a different color, took a photo, and changed the box art.
Yep, and they repackaged the oh, what are they called? The ruins, the Imperium ruins. I can't remember what they're called now. The cathedral stuff, the Gothic stuff. They basically did that in a different color.
Yeah.
Actually, saying that, no, they did release some new ones, didn't they? They released some industrial ruins, which were, Chris, you've got some of them. They've got like the shutters
Yeah, I
on
think
them.
was it around the Indomitus
Yeah.
releases?
Yeah, so they did. I take that back. So they did release some, but not a lot.
And they've done a lot for the kilt team, like in terms of terrain. So like the new orc terrain, I think, is amazing.
Yeah, and I'm going to take it all back. They released quite a lot. They released the antenna. They released the the landing pads, the bunkers, the walls. Yeah, they released a lot.
Well, ignore that, everybody.
Ignore that. I'm talking rubbish again. So, well, hopefully, with the what it sounds like, the main sort of focus of 10th edition is hopefully Tyranids. We're going to get some Tyranid terrain, because there isn't any. He says
towers,
which is
Don't worry, I've not gone. I just tried not to talk over you, and then we just went silent.
Sorry, I got an email. I was just umming and ahhing what it was from. Which is yeah, I'm just basically checking the website to make sure there's no Tyranid related stuff, but there isn't. No, there's no Tyranid terrain.
So what are your capillary towers then? Are they 3D printed or something?
Yeah, they're 3D printed. So they used to be you used to be able to buy them years ago, apparently, and you see them on the box art. They're in the background.
But they're just not available to buy.
Yeah.
Very silly of GW.
Yeah, I don't really know why they've done that, but never mind.
Probably re-releasing them.
Yeah, probably. So I think we've pretty much we've hit half an hour there. Yeah, we're 28 minutes right now.
Good.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Anything else we wanted to quickly say?
No. Like, subscribe, all of that malarkey.
Tell your mums.
Yeah.
Tell your mums, yeah. Find us on YouTube, Command Battle Win, Instagram, CBW, and then _our names, Joe, Azza, or Chris. And yeah. Thanks for coming. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks everyone. And we will see you same time next week.
Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum.